rather than male monks. Um, but that, that would be my intention for sure. My bigger goal would be to start a meditation center um, in Vietnam, or in some place. I don't know where it would be, but where people could live together. But when you're living like that, there's a lot more momentum, because when more people and is a more focused energy, not just like wandering around, but actually living together, then there's a real want to just serve and to just be,
Mm.
because that's your home, that's where you live, that's your meditation center. And just doing volunteering and meditation discussion or meditation class, and just living and being and having, I think, some room for private spaces or people who want to work, um, or even making it like a community center, like a hostel, coffee shop, meditation center, dharma center kind of thing.
Mm.
um, but it would probably be under the umbrella of my teacher, just because he brings a lot to the table. He offers a lot. His organization.
Yeah.
And but how online would affect that, I'm not really sure, because once you establish a place like that, you can put it on you can put it on like Workaway, or you can put it on Woofing, or all the different websites for travelers and people who come around. And I tell you for sure, people would come around and they wouldn't want to, they'd want to stay. They'd
Mm.
want to be a part of something like that, especially when you start hearing about the wider network. Um, I'm just very much still in a wandering modality of my own life and mind. I'm not very business oriented for anything legalistic or property or land or ownership. I'm not really in with anything like that. Oh, it went out. Take it to YouTube, mateys. Go on to YouTube. Get off of TikTok. Live on YouTube, not live on TikTok. No, no, no. That's the worst way to do it, mate.
Oh, is it?
Yes. It's got to be on top. It's got to be the other way around.
Paper on top?
No, mate. The wood on top.
Yeah, yeah. I was just moving it to
Oh
the side.
my god, mate. We put some more wood here. Go on to the YouTube channel. Get off of TikTok. This TikTok is being closed. So a lot of the spiritual teachers and whatever, they're just doing everything by creating these courses and creating these sales things, and I just don't feel, even like the Monk Life Meditation Institute, there's nothing that could bring me to contrive around that or to contract around that.
What do you mean?
Just to like make something up. To make something up and say
Because
that
it
it's
feels
valuable.
inauthentic?
Yeah, there's a lack of all. It's not that I don't think it'd be good or that it wouldn't be valuable. It's just
But do you think you have potentially have a contraction around that concept being inauthentic, and maybe you just haven't uh, reached a point where you can feel truly that it is an authentic way to do it, or justified that.
I guess so. I don't know. But it's like if like this, like a live streaming, this I know I really love. I really connect with this, you know? I really connect with being live and sharing and people being able to be together. So then I'm easy to do that. I'm easy to do that regularly, but like trying to make a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group or a Monk Life Meditation Institute, there's just something about it that's so inaccessible to me. And I don't know if it has something to do with authenticity or being anti-contrivance. It's still there. It's still on the table. It's just hasn't been activated. Contrivance means just like put on and created and contrived.
But it's the same contrivance, I would say, that you have in being a teacher and having that interpersonal relationship. Isn't it almost kind of stemming out of the?
Can you wear the mic, mate?
Oh,
Here.
No. Okay. What if it's the same contrivance as you embodying that teacher archetype, because it stems from the compassion in the moment to do what is, you know, like whatever the word is, to do what is practical.
Yeah. I guess I don't think that it's that necessary or practical.
But the way I see it, maybe, and correct me if this is kind of the wrong train of thought, but it's the same as being Ramana Maharshi. You know, him developing kind of that archetype of a persona was just maybe too much for him, so he decided to just be silent, and that was his teaching.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Because, but you know, there is still kind of this modality of initiating a relationship after generosity has been given in some capacity, right?
Well, you can't I can't just be sitting on WhatsApp talking to people who and trying to determine if they're being genuine or not.
The same kind of transactional, like coaching or mentoring or package that you're reluctant to kind of do. How does this modality differ? Or I know of course it differs, but isn't there still an element of
Well, you can't just let people get very close to you because they want to get close to you. You don't know what people are doing. You don't know what their intentions are. You don't know what they're thinking about. So just because someone wants to talk to you or wants to get close to you, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but under the premise of, like, you know, paying you money for whatever it is, your coaching, your services, or your mentorship, or whatever it is, isn't it? It's kind of like a permission slip for seriousness as well.
Well, if somebody took my teachings and made it into a program and gave me a big check, I mean, I'd say whoop-de-doo, but it's just not something that inspires me. Money doesn't inspire me. Money is fine, money is useful, but it doesn't inspire me to go in a different direction or to choose the direction that I want to go in. Maybe that's just because don't have a lot of money and I'm not a money man, but it's just not something that puts me on.
Yeah, but the idea of having your meditation retreat and all these things, they put you on, right?
No.
Not retreats.
I'm
but
open to
establishing.
I'm open to doing that.
Mm.
I would be open to doing that, but mostly nothing puts me on. That's why I like live streaming, because I get to do nothing and be nothing together with everyone or anyone. You know, sometimes a lot of people.
But you're open to it.
If that opportunity arises, yeah, it's just like...
But is there a reluctance there?
No, it's just not trying to create that opportunity.
Yep.
I'm not trying to create the opportunity of me doing a meditation retreat, leading a meditation retreat, even though I'd be very willing to do that.
Is that the same with like...
In the future, that might be different for some reason, but now I'm more just on a walkabout mentally and now materially as well here in Australia. And I just don't understand the people who come in here and they talk shit. And that's why these kind of experiences are so important, Aditya, with you and me having a direct mind-to-mind human experience together, because this sets the tone for the future of our lives and having experiences with other people and not being a fucking dunce. And talking shit, people talking shit. Everybody wants to be an important person. Everybody wants to be in charge in some way. Learn how to feed your demons.
See, in this situation, you know, like the businessman in me kind of activates, because in this scenario, you know, I could kind of support you and me and allow you to spread whatever it is that you need to spread, and you can just focus on that. But how can I ensure that I do it in a way that aligns with the values of generosity, compassion, authenticity, and not get too sidetracked?
Well, you got to figure out what you want to do with your life, mate. Right? Or you think that, you feel that, so you got to do that.
What do you mean?
What you going to do with your life?
Mm.
Get a job or not? Make a smoothie? I think we have to start by being more comfortable with not knowing what we want to do, or what is the right thing to do, or what is the for sure thing to do.
Mm.
Because if not knowing isn't fine, then how are you ever going to know what you actually resonate with or connect with or makes sense? You got to relax as well and be more open to wasting time or give time away, to abandon time if you can. Like patience or openness or full spectrum, not seeking, not managing, not controlling, not figuring out. My teacher, people come up and talk to him full of emotion and full of passion and stuff, and he'll just sit there and not say anything. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you this video. Here, look.
So, Sero, as we were discussing before, and I was sharing to you about the Goenka, how he's perceived now in Europe. There was another situation recently that I posted something in the French-speaking group, and there a person commented, and this person also took Goenka Vipassana, and I wanted to share with you this story. First of all, this was the place that we visited before you arrived. We were at a school, and there were many people, many children, who were like very well disciplined. They were all standing in lines like this, in several lines, facing us. Then they, of course, offered flowers. We are just on the train. We need to face the conditions. And those children were very disciplined. And then they were meditation for them, and we noticed that children were sitting also with the discipline. They were holding hands tightly, like this, almost in the air, quite stressed and tensed, so that some of us, look at this, some of us volunteered to go to them and whisper to their ear that they can relax. They don't have to hold hands like this towards their chest, almost, and trying so hard to concentrate. So when I posted this, I decided this is a nice experience to share. And I posted these photos and I wrote here, this is how we should not meditate. And then I wrote a text in French explaining what we should not do. And I pointed out mainly that we shouldn't try to do something with our body. Meditation is mainly the mind work. And the body, we just relax and we let it be natural. And we can either hold our hands but still comfortably, maybe supporting them on our knees, or we can just release even hands on our knees. It is not important. What is important is to be noticing from one moment to another what comes to the present moment. So I explained like that. And I got a comment from one person who said that there are many different techniques of meditation, so I shouldn't be saying that meditation is not about the body. Because recently he took a course of Vipassana, and there he learned that meditation is about the body. Because all the time we have to be watching the sensations in the body. And this is how we learn from Goenka experience, that we watch the sensations. And this is how we misinterpret. We have wrong understanding that meditation has to do with the body. Because if we watch sensations, it means the body is important for the meditation. People don't understand that the body does not feel. The body does not know. That this is the mind that knows, including sensations of the body. So I had to comment, like, I was careful and I said that more understand, the person took just first course, and I said that the more understanding should come later, and this understanding should be appearing in the mind and not in the body itself, because the body cannot know, the body cannot feel. But this is just another example of how people get confused with this technique of scanning the body and being focused only on the sensations.
That's it.
Yes.
So this is someone who you can
So Sayadaw is
consider to be real spiritual master, but I am more like weird spiritual friend. Um, but anyways, the words or the labels or the ways that you put it together is just, it's not very relevant to the actual reality of the situation. But someone like this, usually this kind of person as well, in the Asian Buddhism, so this kind of person usually is protected. So they're protected by, like, someone like this would not just be able to come up to them and start talking and start yapping about this and that. But for him, he's kind of fully accessible and open and available to everyone. So he does it in kind of a unique way. But a lot of masters at this level, you would never be able to talk to them or, uh, interact with them much at all. So he teaching detachment. He teaching just this, to be aware without attaching. Aware of seeing without attaching, aware of hearing without attaching, and then just to do good deeds. Here you can see. So he's in India right now.
for the fair and asked some questions from Sayadaw about how he liked Indians, Indian food. He's trying so hard to speak
You can speak Hindi? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. You
Yes.
speak Hindi.
Yeah.
Shit, mate.
Was difficult, but as we travel more, we have to use Indian food, eat Indian food often. So now we become habitual with it. Also, people, Indian people, they are good for long terms, Edo said. The longer time we will work with them, the better relationship we will have.
That's another monk who's like assistant monk, and he always live streaming. So he probably more senior. He's probably more senior than my teacher,
Take a selfie as
but my teacher is the very famous meditation master.
The live streamer more senior than.
Probably, yeah, but my teacher is more famous, so he can go and travel with him. Because for him, even though he very even famous and more senior, but not many meditation master have the resource or the conditions to travel around like that. So he can follow and he can join with my teacher. That's just my guess.
So chaotic in India.
Yeah.
and meanwhile, yeah, they took the photo already.
Everything's good here in Aussie, mate. So in a certain way, we have to look at this from a Buddhist or from a spiritual perspective. Um, no self is outlawed. No self is illegal. The perspective of no self is taboo to talk about. And then if you do talk about it, you better tread very carefully. So here's my mate, Rona. Rona, mate. So people don't listen closely enough, and they're not respectful enough to get an inkling and to get uh, a message about the context of the situation. And it's just like if you were live streaming a meditation retreat and someone said, "Oh, we don't have to meditate." Well, of course we don't have to meditate, but we can. And we're concerned with meditation. This is not for the faint of hearted. And it's also not for casual walker-bys. I don't know why people don't understand that, or what people miss out about that. It's not your business what a man does in his own home. Yeah, I saw. I get skeptical, I get paranoid sometimes because the weirdos we get on here with different usernames and making up usernames again. And of course, if they're here and they hear me say that, they're gonna start masturbating. So, um, procrastination, mate? Well, I guess procrastination just depends on if you have something to do. If you don't have something to do, you can't procrastinate. But Chanath would be the one to talk about when it comes to procrastination, apparently. I don't know, do you really have something to do? Or is it just a conniption that you're giving yourself? If you really have something to do, then, do it. Well, if that should do more, it's just making you feel stressed, drop it. How you hanging, mate?
It's the left. been very chilly. It's a nice time though, spring. I love it. I like the cold. Feels cold. It's nice being warm. It's easier to get warm than it is to cool down, that's for sure. With this open fireplace, you have to sit on top of it to feel it. All the heat goes straight up the chimney. Not a very good design. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, otherwise it might light the house on fire.
Mm. Mm. I'm making a cup of tea. Does anyone want one?
Okay, thank you.
No. The exalted Mahayana Sutra on the wisdom gone beyond, called the Vajra Cutter. The Vajra Cutter Sutra. Seems like the Diamond Sutra. Subhuti. Here, one who has correctly entered the Bodhisattva's vehicle should generate the mind of enlightenment thinking this. As many as are included in the category of sentient being, born from egg, born from the womb, born from heat and moisture, born miraculously, with form, without form, with discrimination, without discrimination, without discrimination but not without subtle discrimination, the realm of sentient beings, as many as are designated by imputation as sentient beings, all those I shall cause to pass completely beyond sorrow into the realm of nirvana without remainder of the aggregates. Although limitless sentient beings have thus been caused to pass completely beyond sorrow, no sentient being whatsoever has been caused to pass completely beyond sorrow. Why is that, Subhuti? Because if a bodhisattva engages in discriminating a sentient being, he is not to be called a bodhisattva. Why is that, Subhuti? If anyone engages in discriminating a sentient being, or engages in discriminating a living being, or engages in discriminating a person, they are not to be called a bodhisattva. Further, Subhuti, a bodhisattva gives a gift without abiding in a thing, gives a gift without abiding in any phenomena whatsoever. A gift should not be given, not abiding in visual. A gift should be given, not abiding in visual form, nor should a gift be given abiding in sound, smell, taste, tactically, or phenomena. Subhuti, without abiding in discriminating anything whatsoever as any sign, thus does a bodhisattva give a gift. Why is that? Subhuti, because the heap of merit of that bodhisattva who gives a gift without abiding, Subhuti, is not easy to take the measure of. Subhuti, what do you think about this? Do you think it is easy to take the measure of space in the East? Subhuti replied, Bhagavan, it is not so. The Bhagavan said, Subhuti, similarly, do you think it is easy to take the measure of space in the north, south, west, above, below, the intermediate directions and the 10 directions? Subhuti replied, Bhagavan, it is not so. The Bhagavan said, Subhuti, similarly, the heap of merit of that bodhisattva who gives a gift without abiding is also not easy to take the measure of. Subhuti, what do you think about this? If it is thought that the Buddha considers sentient beings are liberated by me, Subhuti, do not view it like that. Why is that, Subhuti? Because those sentient beings who are liberated by the Tathagata do not exist whatsoever. Subhuti, if some sentient being were to be liberated by the Tathagata, that itself would be of the Tathagata, grasping a self, grasping a sentient being, grasping a living being, grasping a person. Now it's 1 a.m., mate.
I'll be heading to bed.
You got the microphone on you? Thank you. Good night and good luck.